Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, but we're going to talk about the end of everything. The end of everything. When it comes to digital media, that is. Yeah, so look guys, there is no way to candy coat this. Digital media, everything that we've known about the media for the last 10 years, it's ending. It's collapsing. It's all cratering. We have another story that came out a day or two ago. Billboard and IndieWire are laying off staffers. A couple days ago, we had ESPN laying off on-air personalities. We have National Geographic getting gutted. And I think a big part of it is that there were people working at these publications, at these websites, that they were afraid to get rid of. They were afraid to get rid of these people, and they could always, dip into venture capital if they needed more money, and that's run out. And the ad rates are terrible. And, this might be a very good thing for consumers because it does seem like we're seeing a massive shift in where people get their news, how they consume their news. It's just not going to be on these garbage tier websites anymore. It's just not. It's over. It's over. They were all propped up artificially for about a decade, and now they're all cratering. We're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. So yeah, we've been kind of chronicling the demise of digital media. It's definitely hit non-essentials. Non-essential industries harder. I think it's hit entertainment harder. Obviously, this includes gaming sites, movie news sites, anything of that sort. And this is Penske Media. They're laying off at Billboard and IndieWire. And before that, they were laying off at The Hollywood Reporter. It's like, what are you going to report about? Because all the movies are sort of on pause until they get this strike stuff straightened out, right? Now, I'm going to be clear. I think that a lot of it was that these company owners were afraid to get rid of certain people. I saw this today. It was making the rounds on Twitter. And we'll talk about Twitter. I think Twitter is a huge catalyst in this, by the way. But Isaac Hayes, this is not Isaac Hayes, Chef Isaac Hayes, but this is the founder and CEO at Fanbase app, the estate of Isaac Hayes. So he is related to the late, great Isaac Hayes, who died a horrible death on South Park. Chef, poor Chef. Less than 24 hours after the Supreme Court ended affirmative action, 4 black women are either fired or stepped down in the diversity, equality, and inclusion space. When they don't have to include you, they won't. Actually, no, they're being pushed out, not because of, I don't think because of affirmative action. It was, some of this happened before affirmative action. I think it's because the companies that hired these people realized these positions were no longer necessary. In fact, a lot of these positions were detrimental to their bottom line. I think these ladies went overboard in making sure that everything was diverse and inclusive, even if it didn't make sense to be diverse and inclusive. That included network content, movies, websites, all of that sort of thing. They weren't hiring the right people based on their qualifications. They were hiring people based on check boxes, and we've seen what happens. People don't watch the shows. They don't watch the movies. It's hurting the company's bottom line. But it's so weird because it was like a light switch was flipped. Just like, and all it takes is one person, one company to blink, and all the dominoes fall down. All it took was for Disney to be like, hey, let's toss LaTondra Newton overboard. And the reason they did probably is they took a look at their movies and how they were performing, and they're like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have done all those race swaps. Maybe we shouldn't have, made this show quote unquote woke. Maybe we shouldn't have done this or done that, or, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of backlash right now, especially at Disney for their wokeism. What do you call it? Wokeism? Parasitic infection? I don't know. But so anyway, that's what I think kind of tipped over some of the dominoes. These companies realizing there are certain people they don't need, and how that relates to media is they're like, hey, yeah, these were just money pits. These websites were just mouthpieces, and we're looking at the bottom line and we're like, nobody's actually reading this stuff, or at least they're not reading it in the numbers necessary to make them self-sustaining. Most of these websites are not self-sustaining. Most of them are propped up by huge corporations. And that was fine and dandy when the ad rates were decent, or when, the site owners could use these different websites to promote products. It's worth keeping Nerdist around because we can use Nerdist to promote our movies. Oh, we don't have any more movies to promote? Well, fuck that shit. We're just going to shut it down. We're just going to lay people off. We saw what happens when they try to, start from the ground up artificially, right? We saw it with G4 TV. Rather than go out and get people that actually had a proven audience to start their gaming network, they dumped millions of dollars into G4 TV. And then because the numbers were public, everybody's like, damn, nobody's watching this stuff. Nobody's watching this stuff. Why are we paying for it? And Comcast was even like, yeah, after about less than a year, they pulled the plug on it. And a lot of these outlets were way past their prime. I fully expect by the end of the year for so many of these pop culture websites to just shut down or get consolidated or something. They're not necessary anymore, and they can't even pay for themselves. People are not consuming their news from these websites much anymore, and they don't trust them. They haven't trusted them for a long time, and a lot of them were actually faking their numbers. They were buying traffic. They were fucking over the advertisers, So it's all ending. It's all ending. So let's talk about this article, which kicked it off. Billboard and IndieWire are laying off staffers in ongoing cuts across Penske Media. Now, Penske's huge. Billboard and IndieWire are the latest PMC-owned media organizations to undergo layoffs, as 2 top editors and another staffer were laid off at Billboard on Friday. A Billboard staffer told The Wrap. You know what Billboard is most notable for now? It used to be about tracking the music industry. Now they sell headphones at Dollar General with Billboard on them. That's freaking sad. Meanwhile, 2 staffers at IndieWire, another Penske property, were laid off as well. The layoffs follow editorial cuts at Penske's other entertainment properties, including Variety, which lost 4 staffers this week, and The Hollywood Reporter, which went through cuts the previous week, as The Wrap exclusively reported. Billboard's international editor, Alexi Baranuevo, editor-at-large Joe Levy, who works on the Billboard Pro team, and hip-hop reporter Nina Rohani were laid off. They started working for Billboard in 2019. Well, okay. Representatives for Penske did not respond to 2 emails or phone outreach from The Wrap. Billboard staff were informed at a town hall on Thursday there would be layoffs because of poor financial performance over the last 2 quarters. We're going to see a lot of this. A lot of these outlets, I think, were threatened a couple of quarters ago, and they were told to get their shit together or else, and the else being, we're going to shut you down, sell you off. The Billboard layoffs follow cuts at other PMC-owned operations over the last few weeks, including The Hollywood Reporter and Variety. A former THR top editor told The Wrap last week that they anticipated more rolling layoffs to occur in the coming weeks. Yeah, they're not done yet. PMC insiders told The Wrap that THR missed its Q1 2023 goals by 75%, while Deadline only hit 30% of their Q4 2022 revenue goals. Now, I can tell you, and that's including subscriptions and stuff too. This explains a lot because I actually subscribed to a couple of publications, and one of them, it was actually The Information, which I've subscribed to for years. They were really trying to shake people down to make sure they weren't doing password sharing and all this stuff, and they actually accused me of password sharing. I'm like, I am literally the only person here that accesses this website at all, and I canceled. I canceled, and I said, I'm canceling because you're harassing me and you're trying to get me to buy more subscriptions. It's like, forget it. I'm done. So, I think that the ad rates are definitely down. The ad rates are, I've said it before, it's 70% of what they used to be. They're down 70%. They're not 70% of that, be down 30%. They are literally down 70% from where they used to be because companies are not spending on websites. They're actually taking their spends and they're going to video, they're going to podcasts, they're literally going everywhere else but websites. And this is it, guys. This is kind of how it ends. And I think part of the catalyst was actually Twitter. I think Elon Musk buying Twitter that was another, the domino that was knocked over, because he came in and Twitter was ground zero it was like the hub for all of these websites, these garbage tier websites, right? They all would promote their news and then retweet each other and quote each other in articles, and one big giant circle jerk. Elon Musk came in, upset the apple cart. We found out that a lot of the traffic was fake. He fired a bunch of people from Twitter, and Twitter didn't completely break. I don't agree with everything he's doing right now, but it didn't completely break. So then other companies looked at that and they're like, well, wait a second. We too can fire our worthless employees, and the company might actually be better off for it. And so I think they took a good hard look, especially a lot of these companies that have these digital media outlets. And they're like, we've been dealing with these pain in the ass, slacktivist wannabe journos for years. And we were afraid to get rid of them because they would kick up a shitstorm on Twitter. But it turns out that a lot of that was fake anyway, and nobody's using Twitter. Really, real people don't use it anyway because these assholes chased everybody off, and it doesn't really matter, and we're out of money. So goodbye. And now companies are trying very late in the game to save their own asses. I do believe that we're going to have like a third to a half of the websites that we have now by the end of the year. It's not sustainable. Unless they have another company propping them up, it's not sustainable. If you're just in the business of creating clickbait garbage articles and getting ad revenue for that, you're not going to survive. You're not going to survive. Now, the flip side of that is, what the hell are we going to do? Because I like to make fun of these people. We'll have to find something else to do. I don't know, guys. But there we go. It's all imploding. It's all imploding. It was never real. And now it's just chickens are coming home to roost, I guess. There it is. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.